welcome to my channel. I'm Anne and today I'm going to be bringing you my August TBR. Now, July hasn't been the greatest month for reading for me. I've only read about 7 books now. 7 is still good, it's just not as good as I would have liked compared to my June reading, which was 17 books. But we have 2 really fun and exciting readathons that I'm very excited to be participating in, or trying to participate in. So we've got the full moon readathon, which is happening from August 1st to the 13th of August, and it is the full moon readathon that has been created by Jan from Jan Agathon. So I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be reading for that. And then we also have the Cliterature Readathon, which was created by Steph Loves, and this is happening from the 5th of August. Let me just double check my calendar. From the 5th of August until the 11th. So that is a week, and the Cliterature Readathon is 2 weeks. And the full moon readathon is 2 weeks. So they are kind of the main things that I'm going to be focusing on. So the full moon readathon, we have this wonderful graphic here where we have to try and collect characters for this readathon. So we have the mummy, the raven, the clown, and the werewolf, and with each one you have to collect the full moon. So there's 3 prompts that you need to go through, starting with the crescent moon, and then you move to the half moon and then the full moon. What I like about this is the full moon prompts are not bookish in any way, so you don't actually have to read a book for that prompt to take it off, which is great. So my main goal for the full moon readathon is to collect the mummy and the werewolf, just because I have books that easily fit into those, and they are more my type of books that I would want to read for this readathon. Now if I get more books and I can tick off more prompts with other books that I'm reading, that'll be amazing too, but my main goal is to read the mummy and the werewolf. So 4 books basically. So the first one is a paperback book, and I wanted to start off the readathon with something pretty short, something that I can fly through pretty easily, because I have lots of things that I want to get to in August. And yeah, so what I've picked for this one is Once We Fly by Nikki Lee. This is a short novella, sci-fi based, and it is about 4 generations ago, a generation ship crashed into the sands of Savine. Since then, its survivors have eked out an existence in the planet's hostile desert. Yet the tech is failing, the sands are encroaching, and people are dying. Rescue is still generations away, if it comes at all. But Marissa is a survivor and an outcast. Infected with the chrysalis, a disease that grants its carriers uncanny abilities, she keeps her distance from her dwindling community, until an old friend's dying wish sends her and a young boy across Savine's inhospitable sands in search of something Marcia had thought she'd long forgotten: hope. So this is under 100 pages, so I thought that as soon as the readathon starts I can bang this out and finish it. But this is a New Zealand author. I got her book at Armageddon. I'm very excited to check this one out. So yeah, that'll be exciting. The next prompt is a book that's been on your TBR for a long time, and I'm going to be picking up The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I've had this for a long time. You can see that I actually bought it from the charity shop many years ago, but this is a really popular thriller, something like that, from what I remember. I know it's been made into a movie. I know everyone has screamed about this one, but we are following 3 main people. The industrialist Henrik Vanger, head of the dynastic Vanger Corporation, is tormented by the loss of a child decades earlier and convinced that a member of his family has committed murder. Then we're following the journalist Michael Bloomfitz delves deep into the Vanger's past to uncover the truth behind the unsolved mystery, but someone else wants the past to remain a secret and will go to any lengths to keep it that way. And then we have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Lisbeth Salander, the enigmatic, delinquent and dangerous security specialist, assists in the investigation. A genius computer hacker, she tolerates no restrictions placed upon her by the individual, society, or the law. So I've heard really good things about this. I'm actually going to be picking this up on audio so I can get through it a little bit quicker, because this is a readathon, so I want to try and get in as many books as I can. But yeah, I have had this on my TBR for a long time. I was one of the first books I think I bought when I moved here, and I went to the charity shop and decided that I wanted to get into reading again. And yeah, I have book 1. I'm pretty sure I've got book 1 and book 2 on my shelves, so if I get to this one, that would be great. Then the full moon prompt is post reading wrap up so far, so I'll definitely be doing that on Instagram, just posting my ratings and reviews of the books that I'm reading. And then for the wolf, the crescent moon prompt is a wolf involved, and I have not read a werewolf book in a long time, but one that I've heard many great things about is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. So this is Ali Hazelwood's first foray into paranormal romance, and I'm very excited because I've given 2 of her books 5 stars, Love Theoretically and The Love Hypothesis, so I'm very excited to check this one out. So this is a arranged marriage between a vampire and a werewolf, and we're kind of following them and their story. So yeah, it's an arranged marriage between a werewolf and a vampire, and I'm very intrigued. I've heard some really good things about this. And then we have read a special edition or an alternate cover, and I'm very excited because this gives me the absolute pleasure of reading my brand new special edition book that turned up in the post last week, and it is Die For You by Lauren Jackson. So this is my Bookish and Spice special edition for July on the Fantasy Romance subscription box. This is an Australian based company, and I'm so obsessed with this special edition. It's stunning. It comes with a bookmark, a pin, and it's signed by the author through a book plate, and I'm just very excited to get to this one. So what I remember about this one is so this is a human searching for her sister, a grumpy vampire bodyguard in charge of keeping her alive, and a malicious creature hunting them down. What could go wrong? The death certificate says my sister died 2 years ago in the accident, but her body was never found. I was the sole survivor. Then I saw her. Someone lied. Now I must travel across the country to find answers from a bloodthirsty vampire with one thing on his mind. I'll find out the truth, even if it kills me. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. Now Raya is here. She is mine, and I must protect her at all costs. If she dies, I die. It doesn't add up, and it's all a mess. It's my job to fix it and find my brother. She knows I'm hiding something, but I'm terrified to tell her the truth. And then it's been years since I had a lead. Now I have one. I will watch, I will wait, I will strike, he will be mine. So fantasy romance, vampire, and a human. And I'm very excited. It's such a beautiful edition, although I am scared to kind of read this edition, but I'm excited. I've heard it's spicy. Ooh. There's a playlist, which is cool, so I'll definitely have to re-listen to that. And I'm just very excited about this one. So that is all of the reading prompts, and we have spend time in nature, so I might go on a walk or something during the full moon readathon, which will be good. So those are the 2 that I'm focusing on, and if I read more than that, I will add them in and kind of talk about it in my wrap up. But the next one that I want to talk about is the Cliterature Readathon. So we have a beautiful bingo board up here, and I want to try and get through as many of the romance books that I have on my shelves. So I've got a nice stack of them here, and I'm hoping that some of them will fit the prompts on the bingo board. My goal is to try and fill up the whole bingo board, but without doubling up, but I probably will have to double up. I do have some other books that I'm interested in as well, but the main ones that I have are Overdues in Occultism by Jamie Sands. This is another NZ author that I'm excited to read, and again, it's another short one. So this is about a witch in a broom closet. Probably shouldn't be so interested in a ghost hunter, right? That Basil is a librarian. That comes as no surprise to his Mount Eden community that he's a witch. Yeah, the magic that might raise more than a few eyebrows. When Sebastian, a paranormal investigator filming a web series, starts snooping around Basil's library, he stirs up more than just Basil's heart. Between Basil's own self-doubt, a ghost who steals books, and Sebastian, an enthusiastic extrovert bent on uncovering secrets, Basil's life is about to get a lot more complicated. I've heard this is really cute and fun and quick, and I'm very excited. And we also have some pirate smut, which is Pirate Queen's Curse by Isolde Holyoke. Again, another NZ author. Can you tell I'm trying to read some more NZ authors? But this, from what I know about this, this was sold to me by the author with the Pirates of the Caribbean if it was written by women for women. And yeah, so this is about our main character who has gone through mutiny. She's captain of a cursed ship, and if she would let her guard down, some smug evil spirit invades her minds and traps us in a horrific netherworld. And let's not forget that there's a bounty on me so huge even I'm tempted to cash myself in. Why does someone want to pay that much money for me? I wish I knew. Right now there's 3 hot men in my cabin and I can't have sex with any of them. There's my ex, Captain Dauntless, ridiculously handsome with an ego to match the size of his ship. There's the mysterious Sebastian, one of the hottest peddlers of pleasure in the Caribbean, who wants to give me a good time but is definitely hiding something. And there's the Commodore Benedict St. Stephen's, my nemesis, my prisoner, who has a hard-on for killing me instead of a regular hard-on, but I'm sure I could talk him around. What can I say? There's a lot of love-hate happening in this room, as well as a lot of hate. I just want gold, drink, and sex. Instead, I've got to deal with this curse and this bounty before they get me killed. This sounds like a fun time, and I'm definitely intrigued with this one. Then we have Rival Princes by Jackson Knight. This is Fairyland Romance Book 1, and this is kind of set with a Disneyland sort of vibe. And we have, this is a male-male romance. So there are 3 golden rules for new recruits at Fairyland theme park. 1. No breaking character, even if you're dying of heat exhaustion. 2. Always give guests the most magical time. And 3. No falling in love. Nate's only been working a day and he's already broken all 3. Fast-tracked into a prince role, Nate's at odds with Dash, the handsome, not-so-charming prince who is supposed to be training him. Nate doesn't know how he ended up on Dash's bad side, but the broody prince sure is hot when he gets mad. Dash has worked long and hard to play Prince Justice at Fairyland. Now, instead of focusing on his own performance, he is forced to train newbie Nate to be the perfect prince. Nate's annoying ease with the guests, coupled with his charm and good looks, could dethrone Dash from his #1 spot. So why does he secretly want to kiss him? Fairyland heats up as sparks fly between the 2 rival princes while they get their fairy tale. Will they get their fairy tale romance before they get kicked out of Fairyland for good? Again, another NZ author, and I'm very intrigued by this one. I haven't read a male romance in a while. I'm very excited. Then I also have, I just flew that across the room. Then we have King of Pride by Anna Huang. This is book 2 in the Kings of Sin series, and I'm very excited. I read book 1 for the Dante's Inferno Readathon or Cliterature Readathon back in February. And I definitely want to continue with the series. This one is about Kai and Isabella, Isabella is the best friend of our main character from book 1, and Kai is also the male main character's best friend, from what I remember. And yeah, I'm very intrigued by this one. I know you're going to kill me when you see this next one, but we have Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. As I've already mentioned, I've been in a big book slump this month, and I definitely want to read this one. It was supposed to be on my Cliterature Readathon TBR for February, and I didn't get to it, so I definitely want to get to it this time around. I'm very excited for this one. I love Nash, and I'm very excited to see Nash and Lena's story and how the overarching plot of this series is going to turn out, because it's very intriguing. Another one that you're probably going to be mad at is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I've talked about this plenty of times. This is about Anastasia. She is a figure skater, and Nate, he is a hockey player, and they end up having to share the ice at certain times. They start to clash, and then when her figure skating partner gets hurt, Nash has to step in because he's good on the ice, and it's like an enemies to lovers, very smutty one, because this cover is very discreet. And then we also have Funny Story by Emily Henry. I read Happy Place by Emily Henry in May or June? No, not June, May. In May, and I fell in love with it. I really like how she explores a lot of hard themes within her romances, but this is about Daphne and how her fiance has broken up with her to be with his childhood best friend, and she ends up having to move in with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex-boyfriend, and then they decide that, oh, let's start taking some photos together and kind of implying that we're together to make them jealous. And yeah, it sounds interesting and I'm very intrigued, and this was gifted to me by the beautiful Pesci, so thank you Pesci for sending this to me if you see this. And yeah, so that is some of the options. I also have Silver Fox by Kayla Grouse. I really obsessed with her stories. I really love them. This is about our female character. She ends up at the same beach house as her dad's best friend, and they decide that they're going to play house for the weekend and things get spicy. That's all I know about it. And we also have Unbreakable Desires by Tanya Lynn. This is a monster romance where we're following like this half kraken, half something else meets our human main character, and things go down there too, which I'm also very intrigued by. So yeah, that is kind of the plan. I don't know what else I'm going to be reading. I do have some vlogs planned that might come out in August, depending on how quick I can read these and those books, but we shall see. So if you like this video, give it a like, comment down below and let me know what you're going to be reading in the month of August, if you have any planned out, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Bye.